Welcome. This is the 10th video in our series of Unix tools accessed from a Windows machine. You can see I've opened PuTTY and I'm ready to go. In video number 9, we created a directory called Thursday, and if we look, it's still there. If we go inside Thursday, you'll see, if I type correctly, we have a lot of files still. We don't really need them anymore. Those were just examples that we could use so we could learn about globbing. If we don't want our disk to get full, we need to remember to remove things when we're done with them. So if we say remove directory Thursday, which we learned about remove directory in an earlier video, we might get surprising results. As you can see, we got an error. It says directory not empty. And what that means is that Thursday has files inside of it. And by default, remove directory will not remove a directory that has any files inside of it. We could go inside the Thursday directory and delete each file one by one with the rm command, or we could use rm star, a wildcard, which would be a little bit faster. But we would still need to remove all the files in Thursday. Then we'd have to go into any folders inside Thursday and remove all those files, and then remove those folders, and then come back and remove the Thursday folder. And if you had 2 or 3 levels deep, you can see that might take you a long time. How can we say to Unix, I know there's files inside, I don't care. Remove everything and don't ask me any questions. Well, if we try the help option to remove directory, we could see it shows a few things. Include parents, ignore, fail on non-empty directory. But that doesn't sound wonderful. That doesn't show anything we need. Let's take a look at help for the remove command and see if there's anything that will look good. Recursive. And I think you know this word. I hope you do. That says go inside and do it, and then go inside each one inside there and do it, and keep on going until there aren't any. So we can say rm -r Thursday. And this should say to Unix, hey, delete all the files so you can remove Thursday. And if we do that, you can see Thursday is gone. All the files inside Thursday are gone, and there's no problem. On some computers, you'll have to use FR instead of just R. It depends. Try rm -r first, like we did, and if you still get a message, then you try rm -fr instead. Why do different Unix versions need different options? This is something that people in the Windows and Mac OS X world never see, because every Windows 11 machine works the same. Every Mac OS X machine of the same Mac OS X version works the same. But Linux and other Unix types aren't like that. Each one has the same soul, the same spirit, but the details can be different. How can you know what kind of Unix we're using right now, or what kind of Linux? You can use the uname command with a -a option. And here you'll see, oh, this one is Alpine Linux. And then you could look on the web to learn about Alpine Linux. Alpine Linux is a special, extra small version of Linux, and it uses BusyBox for most of the tools. This is very different than Ubuntu or Fedora or SUSE versions of Linux. They use core utils. And so the switches or options, the things, when we do things like that, the -L, that's called an option or a switch, command line switch. The switches aren't the same in every version of Unix. And sometimes some commands aren't exactly the same name. I've been very careful in this video series so far to make sure I used commands and switches that are always the same on every version of Unix or Linux. But the example for rm-r, you can see up here, they list the F, and F says never prompt. And so let's see what that means. I said sometimes you need it. Let's make the directory Thursday again and go inside of it, and let's make a file. And save it. We use the cat command to verify, and we're going to set the permission with the change mode, say user can read, group and other can't do anything. And I forgot the file name because I'm tired. There we go. And you can see the permission is the user, John, can read this file, but cannot modify it and cannot run it. What happens if we go back and we say rm-r Thursday? You see that? It's asking a question. Are you sure? You're used to these "are you sure" being a dialog box on Windows. Well, we don't have a GUI, so we don't get a dialog box. But I'm going to press Control-C, C for communist, Control-C, and abort the command, which means that the command did not run. And instead, if I do the rm-force recursive, or you can do this, you can use two options, or you can blend them together like this. This says remove force, and force says don't ask me any questions. Recursive, R, the folder name Thursday, and this will remove the folder even though it had a read-only file inside. Be very, very careful when you use the force, because there's no undo on Unix. On some Unix systems, people will tell you, oh, we can run a file recovery and get your data back. On Unix, you can never get the data back. Once it's deleted, it's gone forever. Nobody can get your data back. Not even Linus Torvalds can get your data back. So it's good to have the power, but you need to be careful. Now, we've learned about force, recursive, removal of folders. And we've used up the entire video time for one command. But that's because it's so important and you'll use it a lot. Every time you clean up after you finish some project, you'll need to remove the directory and everything inside it, and any directories inside there too. And this rm-fr folder name is the command to do it. Thank you for listening.